What up, guys? James from Bolt Bros. Big signing, and one signing that I wanted the Chargers to make was Mekhi Becton, right guard from the Philadelphia Eagles. Says a lot what he did over there with Saquon Barkley. But once again, big signing for the Chargers. Let's just go ahead and jump into it and talk more about how this is going to upgrade the O-line. Let's get it, Bolt Bros. Let's go.
Bolt Bros!
Once again, guys, appreciate all the love and support. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you've not. We appreciate all the love and support. Want to hear from you about Mekhi Becton in the comments. What a signing for the Chargers. It was one of those signings that I kept looking at. Who are the free agent guys in the inside O-line? He is the guy you need to go after. This guy is a behemoth of a man. And, 6'7", 363 pounds. This guy is an absolute just massive human being. He did start as a tackle in his career in the NFL. He was drafted very, very high as a tackle. He was obviously Super Bowl champ last year with the Philadelphia Eagles. Games played 46, games started 45. This guy is an absolute behemoth of a man, bottom line. You think about having Mekhi Becton next to Joe Alt at the right guard position. Obviously, competitors welcome. That's what Jim Harbaugh says. You got to still think Trey Pipkin's got a shot there. At the same side, Becton coming in probably puts in a very, very good position that he's going to be that right guard for our team. Becton was selected in the first round, 11th overall pick. Basically was kind of a tackle throughout his career there with the Jets. Did not sign back with the Jets. Signed with the Eagles. Won a Super Bowl. Great signing. Drafted back in 2020, round 1, pick 11. This guy, once again, I'm just looking at it, what he can do on the field. I mean, he went from, I didn't even hear rumors about the Chargers signing Mekhi Becton to instantly having this photo right here, being in the Bolt, signing a contract. It's great to be able to see it. Once again, perfect fit for Jim Harbaugh. As you can see in the picture here, he's a big, big body guy that actually could push around anybody and everybody on that field. You think about what that right O-line can be now with Becton and Joe Alt. That is going to be a nasty right side. Now you think about the left side. You got obviously Rashawn Slater, one of the best left tackles in the NFL, with a Zion Johnson there too, with basically a Bozeman. Now, I will say this too, just kind of talking about the O-line and how it's starting to form right now. When you put Becton at right guard, you're going to basically have a better center position. You're going to have a better continuity there. Now it's really about Zion, and if, say, Bozeman ends up staying as the center, it's about them kind of bonding and getting a better idea of how to, navigate through the O-line. If you go back to last year, just watch the right guard position with Trey Pipkins. There was a lot of times he was on his skates. He was getting pushed around. He just wasn't as aggressive as you would like to be able to see from that position. And how many times did we rush the ball up the gut and get basically 1 yard, 2 yard, no yards, negative yards, whatever it was? There was a lot with Trey Pipkins. No knock on him by any means. I'm not doing that by any means. But at the same side, you're getting a guy that is a true run mauler. See some of the videos of his highlights out there and just pushing people around. One of the highlights I saw was actually at a Rams game. Andrew and I were at Rams-Eagles game at SoFi on a Sunday night game. And he was just being a bully out there. And great to be able to have a guy like that at right guard that really could stabilize this O-line even further. Now, thinking about draft plans outside of this, the whole Tyler Booker potentially at 22 probably is not going to happen now. Unless we really want to say, hey, Zion, you might not be the guy, or you end up being the center, and then Bozeman to be the backup, and then you put Booker on the left guard side of things. Who knows? There's some interesting things that are developing with the draft, but getting Mekhi Becton is an absolute great move. Once again, he was a part of an O-line that just won a Super Bowl and had Barkley basically get over 2,000 yards rushing on the ground. So that is great. Perfect fit. Best signing for the Chargers, in my opinion, for this free agency. And one that I think all fans are happy to be able to see, that we are acknowledging that the inside O-line really needed some help, and we went out there and got a big guy for 2 years with Becton. So terms are not disclosed yet on this. We'll see where that ends up going, but it's a big signing for the Chargers. I did kind of want to jump in just a little bit on the PFF grades. Now, I'm going to compare this to Trey Pipkins and Becton just because I want you to understand what we're getting with him. So Mekhi Becton, basically overall grades, 75.2 PFF. If you like PFF grades or not, how accurate they are, it's kind of up to your own interpretation. But at the same side, 21st as a right guard in the league at 75.2, pass blocking grade 63.6, 60th in the league. So he's kind of in that mid-tier kind of range, but still, once again, you're in the green. 74.7 run blocking grade, 19th in the league as a guard. Now that is going to be absolutely critical for this O-line. You need another guy that could go out there and run block and be a bully and be top 20 in the league. Now you go to look at Trey Pipkins, 57.8 overall grade, 86th in the league, pass blocking grade at 49.7, 94th in the league, not that good at all. Run blocking 63.7. He was good at that, but there was a lot of times he was just on his skates and just not being aggressive enough, in my opinion. So Mekhi Becton's going to bring you an elite level type player at the right guard position. Now, digging further into it, I like to be able to look at the full blocking stats. 903 offensive snaps played for Mekhi Becton compared to 838 to Trey Pipkins. I'm going to mostly just look at it as like, hey, look, we have, the amount of snaps and everything aren't too far off or anything. You look at the 521 pass block snaps for Trey Pipkins versus 450 for Mekhi Becton. Kind of different offenses, I think, in my opinion. He's going to have a lot more run block snaps played because of how that running back group was for that. Obviously, Barkley was just crushing it and absolutely just killing it on the field and everything. So they were a lot more running type team initially. Kind of funny that Kellen Moore is over there. You think about it, he kind of wanted to establish that here with the Chargers. But anyways, but big thing too, penalties, 4 for Mekhi Becton, 5 for Trey Pipkins, nothing too far off from there. Sacks allowed, half amount of sacks allowed in comparison to Trey Pipkins to Mekhi Becton. Becton 3 to 6. Hits allowed 2. They were even on that side. And then total pressures 25 to 29. So if you kind of look at the stats a little bit too, you think, oh, well, is it really going to be that much of a difference? Really, I think it really becomes the nitty gritty type of things that are done within the game. And what I mean by that is just being a lot more aggressive all throughout, having a better situation at the O-line, at the right guard position. You're going to have one of the best right tackles, possibly even left tackles at some point. Maybe who knows what happens with Joe Alt, but you're going to have one of the best on the right side of Becton if he gets the starting right guard. At this point, you assume that. But you're going to get a guy that's a mauler, that's going to be a lot more physical, that's going to be just an absolute stout guy all around too. Now, once again, if you did end up thinking about the whole Trey Pipkins situation, and if you decide, hey, we want to walk away from him, there is actually a kind of a cap space filler for us. We get a little bit more cap space back, I should say. You end up saving, I believe it's $6 million. I'm just trying to check that real quick while we got you here. So if you end up cutting him and you cut Trey Pipkins, it was $6.75 million saving there. So who knows what the Becton contract looks like, but I do think there is that idea that competitors are welcome. A good problem is having too many good offensive linemen on the line. And if the Chargers are willing to keep Trey Pipkins here, maybe he'll only elevate his game even further. But once again, going back to the subject in hand, Mekhi Becton, right guard with the Chargers. Big signing, great signing for the Chargers. Very excited about this signing. And I think everybody else out there should be extremely happy that the Chargers did attack the interior O-line for once with some new blood. So once again, I want to hear from you in the comments below. What's your thoughts about the Mekhi Becton signing? Great signing, guys. I'm just going to reiterate that as many times as you possibly can. And also, I'd love to be able to see if you like this video, subscribe to this channel if you are not. And we appreciate all the love and support. And once again, James from Bolt Bros. Let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast.